Hi everyone. Good evening. Uh, Hi Shreyas. Hi Anil.
Hi, Stephen.
Before we begin, just a brief introduction of all everybody who's joined, today with us. So Evolve was a concept which Anil over here and Anupam, our founder, came up with, and they said that let's bring in people who have stories to share. These stories had to relate to change or evolution because we are in a field where we talk about digital transformation all the time, and that is where we came up with the concept of Evolve 01. Evolve 01 has been a podium for people to share their transformational journeys and transformational journeys of events that they have created, which has enabled people to see or be an impact or a part of an impact. So we've had people in the past who've spoken about their personal journeys. We've had people who've spoken about their professional journeys. We have with us Shreyas today, who's very specifically going to talk about a problem statement that came out during the pandemic with regards to theater artists, and the way he founded a platform or gave a podium for these artists to do better and reach out to the multitudes who are a big, huge fan of theater. Personally, being a big fan of Shreyas since Iqbal, and even an ardent follower of his chat show, which is very nicely named on Nine Rasa, with Kafan being my most favorite episode till now. We are trying to do the same with the world, but with a meaning and a story of an evolution which has happened around us. And we being in tech, if it's a tech evolution or a change that has happened, would be very interested to know the story. So welcome Shreyas, welcome Anirudh, and I welcome everybody who's on the platform today to be a part of the story.
Awesome. So thanks so much, Stephen. Shreyas, welcome to iOro.
Thank you, Anirudh.
Just to kind of start off, we deal with at iOro, we deal with digital transformation all the time, right? This is something that we work with customers on. And usually it has to do with a lot of big terms like strategy, technology, culture, and you've actually gone through that journey. So I'm looking forward to today, Stephen and I kind of discussing with you how the concept really came and where is it today. The weird part about Shreyas is that theater as a word, right? It comes from Greek origin, and it is called the seeing place. It's really a destination. Now you've challenged the word itself because it is no longer a destination, and it's on your platform. But one of the first questions I want to start off with is how did you conceptualize? How did this whole concept arise, and that also in such a crazy time that we were in a few years back? So just kind of start off with that.
First of all, thank you, Stephen, so much for the introduction, and thank you, Anirudh, for this making this wonderful opportunity happen for me and for Nine Rasa. Wishing everyone at iOro a very good afternoon, I must say. I'm sorry, I'm a little tired, so probably I might be looking a little tired also. But to answer your question, Anirudh, basically it was the crazy time that we're talking about that prompted me to come up with Nine Rasa. The whole intention and the idea behind Nine Rasa was to help the theater/drama and performing arts community during the pandemic when everything was shut. I have done theater myself for almost 16 to 18 odd years, right from school to college to professional theater. So during the pandemic, I kept getting a lot of calls from my theater friends as to what do you think we can do to survive in this pandemic. And of course no one had any clue as to what was going to happen because आदमी के पास जाने से डर रहा था, तो अब क्या करेंगे? Theaters and auditoriums were shut. So we thought, why not, when everything was going digital, when there was so much of digital transformation happening all around us, right from fitness to cooking to education, and people were accepting the entire change that was happening. So I said, why not theater as well? Why not drama as well? So initially we thought of, just shooting one particular play with multi-camera setup, editing it and doing all the sound design and DI and everything, and then putting up on a platform like Zoom, for example, and doing a ticketed kind of show. wherein whatever revenues we would get, we would share them with our theater actors and technicians and things like that. And the more we thought of it, more it came to our mind, and more our friends suggested that, why not have a platform which is dedicated to theater and dramatics and performing arts. So obviously I gave it a thought, and of course at that point in time it was completely out of passion that I said, yeah, it could be the world's first ever platform which will be dedicated to dramatics and performing arts. So why not be the first one? So ever since you do theater or television or films or whatever, you feel like doing something for that particular thing, right? I mean, that thing that has given you that big break or laid the foundation for your life and your career. So obviously doing something theater was always there on my mind, but what was the question? And the pandemic, gave me the answer. The pandemic just pushed me out of my comfort zone. Like they say, you just need to do a little extra to become extraordinary. So not that I am doing anything extraordinary, but I think, a platform like this was conceptualized only because of the pandemic. If COVID wouldn't have been there, probably I wouldn't have really thought about this. I would have thought of maybe producing a particular play or maybe acting in a particular play. This is how I give back to theater, which is all bullshit. I think we need to do a lot more than that. So we thought of this, we started this, and today, we are already 6 months old. This basically started, the journey started last May in 2020, and we eventually launched the platform in 2021. So we have approximately, we've shot content which is approximately of 100 hours with plays of multiple languages like Hindi, English, Marathi, Gujarati. We're adding more languages as we speak. We already have around 42 plays which are exclusively shot for Nine Rasa in multiple languages. Plus we have some stand-ups, we have stories, we have chats. And yeah, there's a lot more that we intend to add to it. So and the kind of traction that we're getting is phenomenal, because right now Nine Rasa as a platform is completely free. So we were learning each day, not that we knew everything about it. So tech was the biggest challenge for me. It still is. So I kept learning every day from our analytics and from our data, and we figured that people want to see theater digitally. Of course, theater is something which is always considered, theater to live dekhna chahiye, theater mein jaake dekhna chahiye, vagara vagara. But since the time I was doing theater until date, a lot of things have changed. Earlier, I remember we used to have shows on weekdays, morning shows on weekdays, 11 o'clock in the morning, and the shows used to be full. That was because there was a certain crowd that would, loyally come for your shows. Now shows happen only on Saturdays and Sundays, Saturday afternoon, Saturday night. That's it. So when the numbers have gone down, the audience visiting theaters has gone down. It's only because, not that they don't want to see theater, it's only because they are not able to go and see that at that particular time. Film का ऐसा नहीं रहता, film का आपके अलग-अलग shows रहते हैं, अलग-अलग theater में रहता है, लेकिन drama एक ही जगह रहता है, वहाँ पे आपको उसी वक्त जाके देखना पड़ता है. So then an idea like this, comes to the forefront. And like I said, people want to see theater, digital theater, but right now their thing is, abhi paisa nahi dena chahte. So I'm like, okay, agar aap paisa nahi dena chahte, koi tension nahi. Aap muft mein dekho, you watch it for free, just download our app and watch it for free, or, visit our website and watch it, everything for free. And believe me, the traction since we opened it in November this month, from the 2nd of November, since the time we opened all content, the traction has been phenomenal. So we're just very happy that people are accepting this whole idea of digital theater and the transformation.
Awesome. That's awesome. No, and I think one of the things that we talk about, and when we begin a digital transformation journey, one of the first steps is design thinking. That's kind of like what the experience you went through. But I know Shreyas, that this idea also with an intention to impact multiple different players in that ecosystem, right? From theater lovers to actually the artisans to the industry itself. So, in your mind, what were the problems that you felt Nine Rasa could solve for each of these audiences, right? And how have you been doing that?
So I think the first thing that you mentioned right now, Anirudh, is absolutely bang on. What we're trying to do here is create an ecosystem for dramatics as a whole, dramatics and performing arts, digitally, obviously. It's like, for example, जब हम क्रिकेट जब पहले शुरू हुआ था तो सिर्फ स्टेडियम में खेला जाता था. There used to be a certain number of people which would go and visit the stadium and see that match live. And then cricket commentary started happening on radio. So then a lot of people would get, start listening to that commentary on radio. Then cricket started happening on TV. And then obviously now, you watch it on your phone wherever you are. So we created one ecosystem for that particular thing. तो क्रिकेट भी एक ऐसी चीज थी जो लाइव ही देखी जाती है. आज भी वो लाइव मैचेस चलती है तो हम टूट के फूट के उसके ऊपर कूद के देखते हैं. In fact, today the thing is such that all those people who visit the stadium eventually end up watching it on the big screen over there. क्योंकि वो players इतने दूर नजर आते हैं तो यार पता नहीं चलता वगैरह वगैरह. But there is an ecosystem that we created over a period of years. Similarly, like I said, theater, there's a concept, and that has become a part of our DNA. कि theater मतलब live देखना चाहिए. Says who? Things are changing. Of course, I have done theater myself, so I will always advocate the thing that theater live देखना चाहिए. But सिर्फ live देखना चाहिए, I don't believe in it. आज अगर आपको थिएटर देखना है, आप जिंदा कैसे रखेंगे एक पर्टिकुलर प्ले को जो लेट्स से महाराष्ट्र में उसका टूरिंग होता है. यू टूर ऑल अक्रॉस महाराष्ट्र, बट व्हाट हैपेंस टू ऑल दोस पीपल स्टेइंग आउट ऑफ महाराष्ट्र, staying out of India, all those Maharashtrians or all those Delhiites or all those Bengalis, all those Gujaratis staying all across the world, what happens to them? Why should they miss out on something like this? Considering these days there are so many travel restrictions, you don't know what's going to happen next. A theater company will not be able to afford 14-day quarantine period or 7-day quarantine period in any particular place that they visit. So what happens to them, and what happens to their revenue? So my whole idea behind starting this was to facilitate the theater community. Obviously there is this thought of how we can solve the audience problem of probably watching to see a particular play. But the foremost idea is how will I make sure that my people survive? So while we do Nine Rasa, we pay producers a certain amount, but whenever we syndicate a particular play with any other platform, for example, we are syndicating 6 plays with Z Theatre, there is a certain portion of revenue that goes to the producer and then in turn to the entire team. Similarly, we set up a particular play, we shoot it, but the producers and the entire team has the right to perform it on ground whenever they want to, and whatever revenues they earn from ground shows is completely theirs. So जब भी आपको time है, आपको perform करना है, everything is set. We've done the sets, we've done the costumes, we've done everything for them. They just have to make sure that they rehearse and they go and perform and earn money out of it. So it's as simple as that. And as far as the audience is concerned, obviously, today more and more people are getting, I would say, not only acquainted, but used to this particular format or watching everything on their phone screen. To make sure that theater remains alive, one of the most oldest and purest forms of entertainment. And even Nine Rasa, the way we're trying to project it, is not as a platform of dramatics or performing arts, but an entertainment platform, period. So theater का एक ये भी misconception है कि ओ theater मतलब ना कुछ intellectual होगा, यार ये art का कुछ होगा, कुछ समझ में नहीं आएगा. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. आप एक बार देखोगे और अगर आपको उससे प्यार नहीं हो गया तो मैं कुछ भी हारने के लिए तैयार हूँ.
Awesome. And that passion for theater really shows in the way that you put it across, Shreyas, and I've seen it myself because you've been so hands-on on this entire platform since I know that you started building it. So yeah, I mean, one of the things that has been great to see is obviously I had some interaction with you when you as an actor, also as that persona, and now as an entrepreneur, right? And the way that you've been able to turn that passion into a business, right? And one of the things that is also important as you launch a new platform is how are you seeing this market? How have you been observing as an entertainer, as a producer, the way the behavior of people is or have been on the OTT platforms, and how is that market, and how do you see Nine Rasa fitting into that market as a piece?
So Anirudh, in fact, someone asked me the other day that, okay, Shreyas, how much have you invested in this particular platform? And, all the monies that we've pumped in right now is my money, that there are no investors, no partners, no co-founders, nothing like that. So I have put in all my money in it. And someone said that, acha theek hai, ye hoga, wo hoga, but aren't you worried? And I said, not at all. Had it been maybe 5 years earlier, I probably would have been. But today, if you ask me, I'm not at all worried, because I think what I have with me is gold. Today content technically is gold, and I have more than 100 hours of content, original content live with me. So that is point number one. Second, this entire entertainment and OTT market is, growing at almost 30%. In fact, in the last 1 year, we've seen some phenomenal rise in, consumption on OTT platforms. In fact, the second most used word, I think, after COVID was OTT and content. So everybody knows what an OTT platform is today, thanks to COVID. And thanks to people like Netflix and Hotstar and Amazon for making sure that they reach out to every little household across the world. So if in that kind of scenario, I don't think you should be really worried as to what will happen. And the way forward, the way digitally we are transforming everything, it's about whether it is crypto or whether it is NFTs and things like that. There are so many multiple things happening, right? And then if you have content with you, you really need not worry about it. So to be very honest, Anirudh, when we started the whole thing, I had no clue about a lot of things. The only idea in my mind was, mere paas abhi thode paise hai and I can really try and help them out. But I want to make sure that, it's a long lasting thing and not a very temporary thing ki abhi paise de diye ya abhi kuch madad kar di and baat khatam ho gayi. And that's how we thought of it. But now when I look back, I really feel, yes, it can get stressful at times, to get the right kind of content and then to shoot it properly and things like that. But I think it's very temporary. When you look at the bigger picture and when you look at the longer picture, you feel happy that, we started this and we are probably the first ones ever in the world to have a platform which is dedicated to drama and performing arts.
No, fantastic, fantastic. And I think that even in the OTT space, there's such a big space now for niche platforms that are coming in. And
yeah, see, and someone also asked me, Anirudh, that so in this particular pie chart with all the Netflix and Hotstars and Amazons of the world, where do you see yourself? Because there are so many OTT platforms coming up. Where do you see yourselves? And I said, what, I don't think I'm a part of that pie chart at all, because they are catering to the OTT series and OTT film market, whereas I'm catering to the OTT dramatics and performing arts market. So my pie chart technically is right next to theirs, okay, where it's only me right now. And that entire 100% audience of theirs is what I want coming here for me, from me and my market and my content. So I personally really don't think that I need to be really worried about it. Yes, it will take time for us to create that kind of ecosystem that we're looking forward to. And it's not going to be an overnight journey. So it will take some time, but it's okay. I'm willing to, wait it out and keep adding more and more content to the platform.
Awesome. So I think that's that would be a good understanding of how that concept has come out. And I think, Stephen, you would want to know a little bit more about the platform and kind of getting into how the actual structure of that platform came to be. So Stephen, over to you.
Yeah. So Shreyas, we being a technological company, especially into building platforms, we want to know, how you conceptualize it and how did you make it possible technically?
So Stephen, like I mentioned, technically, I'm still not, still a long way away from what really is happening. But one good thing was, as when I started theater, the one thing that I learned is that I need to keep learning every day. And that has been pretty much my mantra for my performances and other things that I do. So technology was a big challenge for me. Luckily, there was this cousin of mine who helped me understand a lot of things. And what we did was we first started with a, rental model, SaaS model. So we started with a SaaS model to begin with, because he said, Shreyas, don't really create your own technology now. Don't spend money on that. Just try a SaaS model. And then let's see if you really want to do this. Let's see how it's working, whether people are really keen on it. And then, you have a tech thing of your own. So we started with that. And then we did a 3-month beta launch of sorts, where we checked how things were working. That was an Israeli company that we collaborated with. And those guys really taught me a lot. So in the good sense and the bad, so I learned a lot of things with them. But every time it is, I guess, your curiosity of what you really want to do with the platform and how you want to reach out to people is what happened with me. So I kept asking them questions every day कि मुझे ये भी करना है, वो भी करना है, अच्छा ticketed अगर करना हो तो AVOD क्या है, SVOD क्या है, TVOD क्या है. So first I had no clue. So when they gave me a presentation of sorts, I just kept nodding. I said, हाँ, okay, yeah, of course, I know about it. So जब call खत्म हुआ, I went to Google that ये क्या है, SVOD क्या है, AVOD क्या है. I called up my cousin. I said, भाई ये समझा मुझे, before the next meeting I need to understand what all this is. So of course I learned on the job because I didn't have too much time with me. So I learned it on the job, and then when we were completely satisfied and convinced about what we are doing, is when we eventually approached another company and we developed a model of our own. So now the Nine Rasa tech IP belongs to us. And to be honest, there's every day is a new day, and technology. I mean, you guys are experts at it. You guys know better. That every minute things keep changing here. So I'm trying to be at speed with whatever and however much I can. But yeah, I think I'm still too far away than all you guys sitting here.
True. Absolutely navigating through all the change that it brings in. I come from marketing also, and for me to keep up with all the tech words that keep popping up, it again becomes a big deal. But how has the response been to the platform? How are you learning from your consumer insights? I also see that there are a lot more, people from foreign languages are also being a part of the platform. So how do you take
So
these?
yeah, I mean, of course, there are a lot many Indians, and like I said, that from the time we opened up the content is now free for everyone. All the content, you just have to download and start watching. No registration, no subscription, nothing. And since that time, you won't believe. So I mean, just to give you a brief example, earlier till October, let's say, the response was pretty okay. As in, we would have 20 views for a particular play in a week, and today it has jumped up to almost 600 views in a week. So I think, and we have not even started our marketing campaign. We are spending like what, close to 500 rupees every day on digital campaign, but that's about it. So now Jan onwards is when we will actually push the envelope and we'll start marketing the platform. But the response has been phenomenal. Most of the content that is consumed is for drama and drama related content, that is the chat shows and things like that. Of course, people watch stories and stand-ups also, but I think drama is something that they really want to watch, and that is a very encouraging thing for us, because this is essentially a platform for drama and performing arts. So if people want to see that, the more the merrier. And like I said, they've always wanted to see it, but earlier our drama content was premium content, so it was hidden behind a wall and you had to subscribe to watch it. But now that people know it is free, they're flocking in numbers. So we are very, very happy.
Extending from that, and thanks Stephen for bringing out the product side. So Shreyas, a little bit more grilling on the technology side. I know you like to talk about this, but as we go forward, like the features that we currently have, which is obviously allows people to watch and things like that. What's your plan for using this data that you're collecting? Is there a future tech build, or how's the product roadmap really looking like now?
Honestly, Anirudh, right now we are looking more at numbers. Now our entire focus is to make sure that this segment grows. Like till 2019 end, the segment of OTT series, which only a few people were watching, right? And everybody kept talking कि ये OTT क्या है? ये लोग पैसे कैसे कमाते हैं यार? इनका कहाँ से आता है? Ads नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है, इनका revenue क्या है? So, and then suddenly in 2020 things just changed overnight. Everybody started watching series. Everybody had downloads. Everybody had Netflix, Amazon, everything on their phones and their TVs and everything. And suddenly it became very second nature for them. जैसे TV serial है, अभी वो खत्म हुआ, चलो अभी series देखते हैं, binge watch करते हैं. तो my thing is कि right now we are focusing more on numbers. We just need people to come and enjoy and have a good time. at least get into the habit of watching drama and plays, start looking at. Like I said, I'm in no rush right now. I just want people to come and have a look at what this platform is all about, what kind of content we are serving them, what is a completely family platform. So yes, you can enjoy it all by yourself, but also, if you are watching it on your TV, you shouldn't be cringing about the fact that suddenly your father or mom or Aji Azoba just walked in, because the content is completely sattvic, pure, and entertaining.
No, absolutely. In fact, when we first started speaking about Nine Rasa, I was telling you that when I was a child, my mom used to take me to theater all the time, and I used to look forward to that entire experience of going in the rickshaw with her. And most of the kids' plays also came with like a mango dolly or something. That would be what I was really looking forward to. Is after the thing you get this breathing. So I used to go to a lot of these, and I still remember it as a child. But my point being, the experience that all of us have going to the theater is different for all of us. Some of us will do what I did. Others would want to go backstage, talk to the cast, talk to the people. There's a lot of different things that you do that one does at a theater, right? Even the food that you eat, all that part of the experience. And I know that you've continuously been trying to envision of how do you bring that entire experience digitally. So could you tell us a few thoughts that you have on how that could happen?
Yeah, so the backstage thing obviously is part of our what do you call it? Our entire strategy going forward. Right now, like I said, we just want people to come and watch it. But going forward, obviously, there are going to be certain productions which will be live on the platform. So, for example, even if it is shot earlier, it'll be streamed live at a particular time. And at the end of the show, then we are going to have a backstage chat with the actors. So people can actually, immediately after the show, there is this urge and need for a lot of people to go and meet the actors and tell them, oh, wow, you guys are phenomenal and things like that. So that is a part of it. Also, in terms of shooting it, shooting a particular play, there are a lot many things that you can do now, with virtual reality at your doorstep. So in terms of shooting also, there are a lot many things that we are planning to make sure that the experience is as close and as live as possible. So those are a part of the plan going forward. But immediately right now, we've kind of kept it on hold because, like I said, we just want traction. We just want people to first to visit it. Now that they've started visiting it, now that we have the numbers, is when we'll start adding all these other features as well. In addition to that, we will also be introducing merchandise. Now, when I say merchandise, it is certain products which are exclusively curated for Nine Rasa, keeping the whole dramatics and performing arts theme and concept in mind. And at the same time, for example, there were a couple of agencies and NGOs who work for certain artisans across India. So they wanted us to, merchandise their products, which are, hardcore culture-based products from India on our platform. And it's not any other product that you get to see. It's probably exclusively made for Nine Rasa and curated for Nine Rasa, and that is what we will have on the platform going forward.
Awesome. Interesting. And one of the things that we learn, and I've had the opportunity to be on a couple of engagements with IORO on helping clients digitally transform, is that you often have a lot of challenges along the way. Yeah? You have to disrupt many things for it to be called a transformation. And in this case, even starting with how to shoot a play that is ready for an OTT platform, all the way with you shooting 100 hours in the middle of the pandemic, in the middle of the lockdown, and following all those processes and protocols and things like that. I'm sure it was building innovation every day, or figuring out how to solve the next challenge. It's good to hear about that experience.
The first and foremost thing is, your so-called friends start telling you that what you're doing is not right for the community, and whereas the fact of the matter is that you're trying to do something for the community, but ऐसा रहता है कि क्या कर रहा है तू, theater हमेशा live देखना चाहिए, digitally you're doing the wrong thing, and some seniors and friends and everybody, so a lot of people who said that this is not the thing to do, Shreyas, and you're not doing the right thing for theater. Luckily for me, there are a lot more people who are supporting me, and yes, at these times, your confidence can shake for a moment. you probably can end up feeling that maybe I'm not doing the right thing. यार मुझे करना चाहिए कि नहीं, इतने पैसे उसमें लगाऊंगा वगैरह वगैरह. But there were a lot more people supporting me and were confident about the entire thing. So you were one of them who really supported and who really was gung-ho about the idea. So the first challenge started from there, where your people tell you that this is not the right thing to do, so stop it here. Then obviously, those you are going to them for their content, and they start telling you that अपना content तो नहीं देंगे. So then you start improvising कि अच्छा वो अगर content नहीं मिल रहा तो मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ? How will I get content? So you start approaching more people. They come up with certain ideas. They tell you that अच्छा full length plays अगर नहीं है तो long plays करते हैं, one act plays करते हैं. And then slowly even the full length plays started coming in. So all those people, today proudly I want to say that all those people, or rather let's say 80% of those people who objected or said no to me doing this particular thing, today want to be a part of Nine Rasa in some way or the other, whether it is as an actor or director, writer, investor, whatever, each and every aspect of it. So they want to be a part of Nine Rasa because somewhere today they feel that, okay, here's an opportunity. Oh, पैसा बड़ा बनाएगा श्रेयस और इसमें से निकलेगा तो why not हम भी थोड़ा सा उसमें से ले लें. So I'm completely okay with it. But I said, I feel that, these challenges will keep coming up. Tech, like I said, was a huge challenge for me. I had no clue. The legal part, again, I really want to thank each and every member of my team here, because I would harass them day in, day out about every little thing. कि ये कैसा होगा, rights का क्या होगा, legally हमें INB ministry से कोई permission लेनी पड़ेगी क्या, ये करना पड़ेगा क्या, वो करना पड़ेगा क्या. But I think, if you, and when you look back, when you think about it, you think that अरे पता नहीं यार वो कैसे कर दिया मैंने. Because I think there's one film by Mahesh Kothare called Zapat Lela. So I think if you're probably possessed, then you end up doing a lot more than what you really think you can. And that's what happened with me also. So there were a lot of challenges, but luckily for me, that one person who has always stood by me rock solid is my wife. And she kept saying that, do you believe in it? And I said, yeah, somewhere, I don't know, And she said, even if you don't, I do. I believe in you, and I believe that, whatever you've been doing all these years, somewhere it has been right. And that's the reason it has helped us reach here. So why not do this as well? And I think your family support really matters a lot, all said and done. Whether you believe in it or not, I think your near and dear ones, if they do, then somewhere that gives you a lot more strength and energy. So yeah, I guess, and these challenges will keep cropping up. So every day is a new day, there's a new challenge. For example, suddenly RBI saying कि वो क्या कहते हैं उसको, ऑटो रिकरेंस नहीं हो सकता मंथली सब्सक्रिप्शन का, तो बार बार करना पड़ेगा वगैरह वगैरह. So again, not familiar with a lot of things here, but you learn these things every day and you feel okay, then इसका कुछ और तोड़ निकालना पड़ेगा. We are Indians, हम हर चीज का जुगाड़ कर सकते हैं. So I guess we're learning every day, and challenges will keep cropping, but I love them because it just makes sure that I end up talking to a lot more people, getting more information, learning a lot more, and doing something differently.
Absolutely, that's fabulous, and congratulations, by the way. I know you and Dipti have really put in a lot of heart and soul and blood and tears also in getting this up, and I've seen that firsthand. So a really big congratulations in getting here and getting that platform up and starting to build this community. In fact, to the entire team as well. Now that you've kind of gone through, and maybe if I would have spoken to you about digital transformation and disruption and all these things prior to this experience, I don't know, you may have had a different view on it. But now that you've gone through it, Shreyas, and now you're an entrepreneur and you're doing these things, you're trying to build this institution and trying to give back to so many different things. How do you in your words now, how has the definition of transformation or disruption changed for you? What is it?
Wow, I don't know, Anirudh, because I think I really don't know. I don't think I would be able to answer this question, because it has definitely made me a changed person, wherein it's only after doing it is what I feel that ये मैं कर सकता था. Why wasn't I doing it earlier? What was I waiting for? I mean, was I really waiting for COVID to happen to push me out of my comfort zone and make sure that I'm able to do this? So I just feel more confident today as a person, or as an actor, as a director, as a producer, as an entrepreneur as well, that there's nothing technically that we won't be able to do. once we start applying ourselves to it, I mean, you can really achieve anything. Yes, there are going to be setbacks. Yes, there are going to be challenges. There are going to be failures. Not that everything is going to be rosy and nice, but I think, we learn to overcome them. And I have always believed in one thing, that your today is always going to be better than your yesterday, and your tomorrow is always going to be better than your today. If you're working towards your goal and your dream, then your tomorrow is always going to be better than your today. So um, I don't know. I don't know what exactly is going to happen with this, over a period of time, but my intentions are honest. So one thing I know, that uh, sincerity and honesty has got me here over a period of years. One normal middle class boy from a middle class family, technically no filmy roots, no filmy background, nothing, and just ends up here out of nowhere. I've just been trying to do my work all these years, and that is exactly what I'll keep doing going forward. That is all I know. I am not a businessman for yet. Of course, today probably till last May, I was, let's say, 0% businessman. Today, I'll say that, okay, I'm 40% there. There's still a long way to go. But I'm learning every day, and I'm very, very happy about this. When I look back, 10 years down the line, somewhere I'll feel that, boss, where whatever happens with the platform, good, bad, ugly, whatever, I'll at least feel happy that, I had the balls to start something like this, which was probably the world's first ever platform. And look where it is today. Or it's okay, it didn't work out, but at least I started. At least I gave it a shot. I won't have any regrets with me.
So, making tomorrow better than today. That's a good definition. I like that. That's the authentic definition I was looking at. But thanks, Shreyas, for spending the last 40 minutes or so and kind of taking us through your journey. It's really been great. I've witnessed it firsthand. I hope everybody that's here today really got a good glimpse of it. And I urge them to check out the platform and see for themselves of what we've been able to create. Stephen, do we want to take? Do you have a question, or do you want to take it to any questions in the audience?
Yeah, before I open it up to the audience, there's one question that I'd like to ask you. What has been the most difficult part of this journey? I know it is going to be somewhere on the lines of people believing in you, but we're talking about this.
The most difficult part, Stephen, was putting in all my hard-earned money into it. Every little penny that I'm earning is going into 9 Rasa. But yeah, I guess that has pretty much been the most difficult. Everything else is pretty much manageable, but yeah, suddenly it is, you're looking at one huge shark staring at you with open mouth and saying, "Aur chahiye, aur khana chahiye, aur chahiye." So of course it's a different challenge, but yeah, I guess probably that is the most difficult for me till date.
No, absolutely. I don't think it's going anywhere haywire, because the first time I logged into 9 Rasa and the kind of content I saw over there, it is pure liquid petroleum. It's a content that you relate to so well, and I don't think it's going. It's a very, very well invested platform.
Thank you.
So we'll open up the questions. We'll take a couple of questions, before the session gets over. So anybody from the audience? We have people who are non-IRO as well. So if anyone has a question, maybe you can type it down in the chat. We'll read it.
So Stephen, sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to introduce Shreyas to also. Is Anupam here today, or no? I didn't see him.
Anupam wasn't there when we started. I think Nilesh is there.
Yeah. So Shreyas, I wanted to just introduce you to Nilesh. He's the co-founder of IORO. Nilesh Shreyas. I don't know if Anupam is here, but he's the other co-founder. So
Hi,
Nilesh.
So he's the thing that you get that you're trying to walk away from. He's the CTO, and I want Nilesh to ask a very difficult technology question to begin with.
I will not ask a technology question, but I will ask question: how was the experience to handle the technology people?
When I mentioned that, I learned a lot, good, bad, everything. So it was pretty good in the beginning, where to be very honest, they promised me the moon. Okay, we'll do this, we'll do that. Ye bhi ho jayega, wo bhi ho jayega. And suddenly, you tell them, "Acha, why don't we start off with this? There's going to be an extra cost to this." Really? I mean, I didn't see that coming. So yeah, I mean, these things were something that I had not really taken into consideration. But then obviously when it happens once and twice, then you know that, okay, everything has a cost. So you better be prepared for it. And this is the tech thing at the end of the day. So you will have to make sure about what you want. So when we had our own platform, when we started building our own platform, what we did was I wrote down everything that I wanted, and I told him, इतना तो चाहिए ही, इसके ऊपर मुझे वो आपके जो डेवलपमेंट आवर्स होते हैं, वो मुझे इतने सारे आवर्स चाहिए फ्री. Are you giving me those in your package? Then I'm interested. So obviously those guys are extremely sweet guys and working round the clock with us. And they've actually made my journey a lot more better and happier than what it was earlier.
Move on to the next question. Shreyas, Nilesh actually comes from a team that was in the thought process for creating Book My Show. So
okay, wow, that's amazing. That's amazing.
So actually, we build a complete big data ecosystem and data technology platform for Book My Show.
Wow, super. We were in fact planning to do something with Book My Show, but then I guess they got busy with something. I got busy with something. That's the reason. We were trying to do a 9-day festival of sorts with Book My Show, which we will, I guess, going forward. Maybe sometime next year we'll plan that with Book My Show.
Great.
I have a question from Mr. Raktam Singh. Okay, this is this might tackle the director review, Shreyas. So his question is: any thoughts on taking inputs from audiences and creating theater plays based on that? Now that you are on a digital platform, something like House of Cards.
Okay, no, definitely. Suggestions are always welcome, and we, in fact, are devising ways to make sure that our audience reacts and tells us that, okay, this is what we're looking at. See, at the end of the day, that is how even we make films or other content that we're making, right? We essentially, whatever is happening in the society, we are technically mirrors, and we try to show that. We try to sell dreams. So whatever, you have in mind, or whatever is something that you want to see, you can always connect with us on our social media pages, or, write to us on our mail ID and tell us that, okay, this is something that we're looking forward to. Why don't you make some content? So all the content on 9 Rasa, some people ask me, अच्छा सारे पुराने नाटक होंगे क्या वो पहले वाले? तो there are two things. मैंने कहा कि एक तो सारे जो पुराने नाटक है उनके rights are with multiple people. I mean, there's a literally with most of them there's a mess. कि किसके पास कितने क्या-क्या rights है, no one knows. So it's difficult to get into that segment. However, I felt that why only those plays? आज भी क्या हम सिर्फ शोले ही देखते हैं? अरे अच्छा OTT आ गया, तेरे पास शोले है क्या? ऐसे तो नहीं पूछते ना. We tell them कि अच्छा नई फिल्म और कौन सी आ रही है. So my thing is, why not have new content, fresh theater content? Because वो हो गया, चलो वो हमने देख लिया, वो शायद YouTube पे भी है, कहीं और भी है. Now here's a chance to see some new content. Why not enjoy that? So yeah, we have a lot more fresh and original content on 9 Rasa. Yes, Mr. Kulkarni, I think, has a question.
Hey, hi Shreyas. Thank you so much for joining this evening, and wonderful knowing this new journey.
Thank you.
I think pretty noble. म्हणजे फार काही शब्द तुझ्या तारीफ करायला कमी पडतील असं आहे. I think this initiative in the midst of pandemic and post pandemic as well will take care of a lot of people, especially not just from drama. But the question, or more than a question, I want to know from you. I'm curious to know. I am part of classical music community as well in Pune. Part of Savai Gandharv Sangeet Mahotsav volunteer team, as well as I'm trustee at Kalashri Sangeet Mandal in Pune. And I have noticed in last 1.5 years of this time, a lot of artists, especially singers and tabla players and our harmonium players, have suffered through because there were no live programs, right? And that is also one of our performing art. Do you have any plans to enhance your scope beyond drama and look after all artists? Because 9 Rasas means, I'm sure you will be inclusive of all art and artists. So is there anything that can be done on that front? I'll be happy to associate whichever capacity me and our extended community of Indian classical music.
No, lovely. Obviously, I mean, music and dance is also a huge part of the plan. But right now, because we were focusing more on plays and dramas, so we were shooting them and that content. But yes, music is a major part of our library going forward. So what I'll do is I'll probably take your number from Stephen or Anirudh, and let's connect. Let's see what we can do, because yes, music. There's something that we have in mind that we're planning to do going forward in terms of music. And if you're there, then that is what we need. Just like-minded people who believe in it, and then we can crack something and get going. So yeah, definitely.
Because we could do very little during pandemic for them. We got the list of people who are really suffering through their day-to-day needs during this time, and we collected some funds at a personal level, those who support classical music, and we could reach with some monthly grocery and all. But I think that's not the way, as you rightly pointed very recently, that cannot be just for a time being. You want to make it a platform that people can have it as their platform for throughout their life and grow with your platform.
Absolutely. So right now, Mr. Kulkarni, of course the idea, like I said, there are 3 ways of earning money for every technician involved with Nine Rasa. One is how we pay them, and in the last year and a half since we started, we've ended up let's say creating jobs for almost 2,000 odd people from the community, whether it is technicians or actors or writers, directors, everyone. But the idea is, apart from syndication and shows and ground shows and everything, I think once we keep growing is when the whole royalty model also kicks in, because that is what we are actually aiming at. Because even if there is a certain pandemic or epidemic or whatever that happens in the future, the community shouldn't suffer. They know that, okay, there is this platform, यहाँ पे हमने एक अपनी चीज डाली है, यहाँ से कुछ ना कुछ पैसे तो आते रहेंगे. That is how we are looking at it, and that is how we want to grow as a platform. So please, let's get in touch.
I think money will come. You have put in all your hard money for such a noble cause, so I'm sure the outcome will be there, and there's somebody who is seeing it from a top, that your purpose is noble and it's not just to make certain numbers. So congratulations to you, and thank you, Stephen and Ayoro, for organizing this. Good to know, because we haven't seen yet ads, so I wasn't really aware about it, but I'll myself advertise in my own network about this product.
Yeah, thank you. No, in fact, like I said, we haven't really started marketing it yet, because we're focusing more on the content part of it. But the marketing activity will start from Jan onwards. We'll just kind of push the envelope a bit.
Sure. Hope to connect soon with you. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Similar question on the content part. We have some students in the audience who joined from potential colleges, and they'd like to know, they've been part of Purushottam Karandak and street plays. So is there an opening for such type of content to be a part of the platform? If yes, then how do they go about it?
Yeah. In fact, we have a lot of one-act plays, old and new and everything, on our platform. So, of course, we've shot all of them. We're editing it. It's in post-production, and then we'll keep putting it one by one in a phased manner. But whether it is Purushottam Karandak or any other one-act play competition, and I've been part of almost most of them. If not, then I've at least seen them. So I know the kind of the level of quality that these guys, and they're phenomenal. So the idea is to create a platform for everyone who wants to be a part of the platform. As simple as that. So if you think you really have it in you and you can be a part of the platform, please approach us, and we'll be more than happy to put you out there on Nine Rasa with your content, if it is entertaining, masaledar, and fit for our audience. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say, because the thing is, I've been an actor. I was technically a nobody, but there was someone who gave me an opportunity, someone who believed in me, and that is what Nine Rasa believes in. That there are so many of them, and if you look at all the actors that we have on our platform, 80% of them are new actors. They're fresh actors. You probably haven't seen them anywhere, or probably you've seen them in maybe a couple of series here and there, but extremely passionate about theater, about performance, and that is what they believe in, because drama is all about your writing and your performances, right? That's how you hold your audience. So they are very passionate about it, and that's how they want to be involved with the platform. So whoever here wants to be involved with the platform, please write to us, and we'll see how we can take this forward.
I hope that answers the question.
If you started to, you made fans today as an entrepreneur in your new journey. But you have a lot of fans as an actor, and I'm seeing that question pop up. So let me ask that: what's your next projects like? That's what a lot of people are asking. Which movies are you doing? What are you working on? Obviously, a lot of us have seen you on back on Marathi serial, which I know has gotten a great response. But what's happening?
Yeah. No, apart from that, I'm working on a film for Foxstar Studios. It's a biopic based on a cricketer. So that is what I'm working on right now. And that is the reason I'm extremely tired as well, because it is, again, very physically taxing like Iqbal. But apart from that, there's a film that I'm directing and acting in called Sarkar Ki Seva Mein. Then there is one more Marathi film that I've done with Mahesh Manjrekar for Z Studios, which I think should be releasing probably early next year, Jan or Feb sometime. And and there's one more Marathi film that I will be doing early next year in Jan Feb. So right now, this is what I'm doing as far as an actor and director is concerned. Production, yes, we would be producing a film in Marathi next year and a film in Hindi as well next year. And we are pitching a series to a platform. So if that goes well, then we'll be doing that series as well.
Awesome. So how are you managing that balance? Because there was a question also. Somebody
I think, luckily for me, I learned very early in my career and because of my dramatics that, tu akela kuch nahi kar sakta. You need to have a team to do anything and everything. Even on stage, you need someone to react to what you're saying. It's only then that you will get that kind of laughter. Tu akela kitna bhi joke marega, to bhi log thoda hi hasenge. So I think I have a wonderful team supporting me, backing me, with me, making sure that whatever our vision is, we try and complete it in the given time.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Stephen, any other questions from the audience?
Yeah, one last question. I think it supersedes a lot of questions asked. How did the name or the word Nine Rasa come into place?
So Nine Rasa actually is suggested by my wife, Deepti. We were looking at different kind of names, theater terminal, T square, T2, kaisa hoga, kya hoga, vagera. But she said, it is all about all these different emotions, right? I mean, that you're dealing with. So it begins with Navras, and that's the whole journey of every actor. So why not have a name which is synonymous with that? And because we were also appealing to international audience. So we thought, why not have a name which has an Indian base or Indian soul or Indian roots, but also an international appeal. So we named it Nine Rasa. Of course, some people still call it Navrasa. I'm completely okay with it, as long as they know what the platform is all about. But, there was one initial question that Anirudh asked. There are a lot of international audience watching it. So we have people not only from US and UK, but we have from Namibia, Somalia, Kenya, South Africa, and of course, Singapore, Thailand, UAE countries and everything. But the African continent was a huge surprise from Japan. A lot of people from Japan visiting our site and watching our place. So I think it's a very encouraging site for me when I see those numbers. Afghanistan as well. So some good numbers from there.
Awesome. And over to you, how you would like to take it. Over to you, if you'd like to take a question or you want to close. I think Shreyas, you have another. How much time do you have? 2-3 minutes?
Sure.
Yeah. So Stephen, if you have another question, or else we can close. I don't know if you've answered.
So one last question, Shreyas. I think this is what we come to of our evolve sessions with. What is the one mantra that you use, to keep going and to portray the kind of leadership that you're doing? Because you play multiple roles. You play that of an actor, a director, writer, now an entrepreneur. So what is the one thing that you treasure the most? One feeling that
one simple philosophy that I've been trying to follow is if you want to score a century, the first thing that you need to do is never lose your wicket. Just stay on the pitch. In simple words, do not quit. Just be there. I mean, you're not going to get every ball to hit for a 4 or a 6. There are going to be some dot balls, there are going to be some ones and twos, but then there will be a time and you will get a ball which you can hit it out of the park. So you will have to wait for it. So just wait for it, just be there. Johnny Lever sir one day told me a very very interesting thing. He said ki just imagine that you're standing right in the center of a circle. दुनिया गोल है, correct? गोल घूमती रहती है. तो सर्कल में आप खड़े हो और आपके ऊपर एक लाइट है, और जैसे हमारा लाइटमैन होता है, लाइट लेके HMI, सो लाइटमैन खड़ा है, जो लाइटमैन है वो भगवान है, ओके. और दुनिया गोल घूम रही है, तो आज आपके ऊपर लाइट है, लाइट है, लाइट है, लाइट है, कल को वो लाइट आपके ऊपर से चला गया, ओके. पर वो गोल घूम रहा है, ओके. वो गोल घूम के आपके ऊपर दोबारा 100% आएगा. यू जस्ट हैव टू वेट फॉर इट. कि दुनिया गोल है दोस्त, वो कहीं नहीं जाएगा, वो घूम के वापस आपके पास ही आएगा. बट व्हाट इज इंपॉर्टेंट इज यू वेट फॉर इट. एंड सेकेंडली, जब लाइट आपके ऊपर है, तब what is it that you really do when the light is on you? That will make all the difference when the light is not. So for you to survive, for you to be there, make sure that you make those teams, you make those companions, you make those friends, you have those people with you, which will help you survive when the light is not on you. So I guess it was a wonderful thing that he said, and that has stayed with me all these years.
Perfect. Couldn't have been said better. That's a perfect example.
Thank you.
On that note, today's Evolve session actually comes to an end. It has been a wonderful experience, Shreyas.
Thank you.
And all the best to you. All the best to what 9 Rasa actually stands for, and all the support from us. We'll be ardent followers. My team was even putting it on as we were in the session. I've seen them go visit the platform. I hope that the passion that you come out with transcends to everybody who visits the platform. And it has been an enriching session. I would also like to thank everybody who's been a part of the session. We've had some August audience over here who've been previous Evolve guests. So thank you all. Thank you for attending the session. And thanks, Shreyas. Thanks, Anirudh, for making this happen.
Really, thank you, iOro team, for this wonderful opportunity, and it was lovely sharing this journey with all of you. Every time you talk about it, there's a new thing that you end up learning or end up probably realizing. So thanks for this session, because at the end of it, me and Anirudh are going to have a chat. अरे ये बात हम लोग के ध्यान में नहीं आई थी जो तू बोल गया, तो हम ये कर सकते हैं. So thanks again for having me here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Shreyas, all the best.
Thank you, Mr. Kulkarni. See you soon. Bye-bye.
See you.